Commissioners, the meeting is live.
Welcome to the November 7th meeting of the Nevada County Commissioners. Please stand and join in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll get this. Yeah, any public comments today? Evan.
Good morning, Evan McMillan. Just wanted to give a reminder, the transfer station will be closed on Thanksgiving Day. Thank you.
Anything else? Did you have comments, John?
Give me a second here.
Okay, but go ahead.
You can go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good morning, everybody.
morning,
Sorry
John.
I'm not there in person. As you can tell, some things kind of changed on a dime here that just having to try to take care of. As you're probably aware, got some dreaded news that I've not been wanting to hear for several years, but my mom did pass away on Monday, the day after her 67th birthday, and so I had to change some plans pretty quickly to make everything work. So on Tuesday, I had to cancel some events and some other things. For instance, I won't probably obviously be there Monday for the Veterans Day parade, but had to shift some plans and stuff around. And then yesterday I left to come out to Kentucky. Doing pretty good. Got just east of Lawrence and figured out there was a nail in a tire. So I spent 3 hours in Lawrence yesterday. Hopefully nothing rubbed off on me. And let's see, 3 hours later, 4 brand new tires and $1,200. We were back on the road and got out here about 9 o'clock last night. So visitation and stuff's tomorrow at 6 o'clock. The funeral itself is on Saturday, and I'm making plans on coming back home on Tuesday and taking a day to kind of readjust and reset on Wednesday. So that's pretty much everything in a nutshell.
Well, John, our deepest condolences to you, and be careful on your trip. I hope you have a better one back, but
Yeah, it was kind of a long day yesterday from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m., but we made it. We're good.
Yeah, good. Okay. Well,
Thank you for that. Thank you for those words too. I appreciate it.
yeah. Well, let's see. Monday afternoon, I had several doctor appointments. One of them with my orthopedist to check my foot sprain, put me in a boot for a month. I don't have it today because I can't drive with it. So I was trying to get used to it. So that's a lot of fun. Tuesday, I spent most of the day working at the Democratic headquarters with poll watchers in the Manhattan polling locations. And later that night, I attended election watch party at the Sunset Zoo. It started out pretty jovial, but it didn't end up that way. But I appreciate all the people that came out to vote. Wednesday, I had a meeting of the Heartland Works Board via Zoom. There were 2 new members voted into the local workforce development board from Junction City. And the consent agenda consisted of minutes from 3 meetings, the fiscal report, and various other reports. I mean, the packet was huge. One of the biggest changes, and I think I talked about it a month or so ago, will be in the organizational structure proposed previously. And it was approved to move this region of 17 counties into Region 1 with the Northwest and Central regions. And this was originally encouraged by the governor, and it's been approved by the U.S. Congress. And then now it's back to the governor's office, and they're saying that she's planning to approve it at the state and implement it sometime in 2025. One of the things that started this is that the executive director, Gina Kaufman, is going to resign at the beginning of 2025 due to family issues. So that was one of the biggest reasons. And So anyway, but they did report a national unemployment rate has remained steady at 4.2%, and in Kansas it's at 3.3%. And next meeting will be on February 5th, 2025. Wednesday evening, practice with my church's bell choir. I was unable to attend the Extension's annual meeting because we got out kind of late. And we are performing on Sunday, so I had to go to the practice. We hadn't even practiced for it yet, so it took some time. But that's all I have.
Well, no, okay, your comments, John. For John, I hope thoughts and prayers with you, and take as much time as you need. That being there is more important than being here right now. So we took a quick trip to Branson with my brothers and their wives. Drove down Monday afternoon. I don't know if it rained here. It rained and kept getting heavier, heavier as we got down there. That night, the reports say we had 12 inches of rain. It was
What?
12 inches. I mean, it was like somebody was pouring it down on you. Made for a fun drive. No. There's a lot of semis on that road, in which just
Oh.
so you got the rain coming down, the semi spraying up on you. It was
That's miserable.
slow go.
Intense driving.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then let's see. What we went down there to attend this Sight and Sound Theater. I don't know if you've been there. It's a really big place, and they have live animals, and they bring the animals when they enter. They come down through the aisles, everything. This was the new show that just started this week. It was Miracle of Christmas, and it was a great show. And we've been for, and they always have a great production. And then we visited some other areas around in Branson, and then drove back yesterday. Much easier drive. And the only election comment I had was about some of the local state elections. After reading the finance reports in the Mercury last week, I was glad to see that offices can't be purchased in Riley County. And that's all I've got.
Business commissioners.
Yeah.
First item we have, need a motion to accept the bid recommendation for Kitten Creek.
Okay, well, I would make a motion to accept the proposed bid from,
Well, did we want to talk about?
or do we talk
There's two
about?
recommendations there. One
You're
by
Right.
approve
You're
and
gonna
raise.
bring it up and give us a
Okay.
little rundown on it.
I'm sorry.
So if you all recall, there were two, I guess, competitive bids. One came in from Claver Construction, and their proposed working days was 75 days. The other was from Reese Construction. It was about $16,000 more, but they proposed it to be done in 45 days. Both of these companies can do this project. They've done similar work in the past. I personally have not worked with Claver, but Mr. Ellerin has, and says they're fully capable of performing this work. So it's really whether we want the less construction days for a higher price, or to go with the 75 days for the lower price.
Oh, that's working days, 30, so that's like 6 weeks, right?
Oh, it's like
About,
That's
Yeah.
6 weeks.
a little over $15,000 to make it a little more convenient. How many houses are affected up there?
so it'll shut down the entire road of Kitten Creek, just at that structure. So on the north side, I know there's one resident right next to the structure. And then south of the structure, I think the majority of us closer to Anderson.
So that whole
So
road.
that one was kind of the road, kind of kink in the road. Is that what this one is?
Oh, it's got a few kinks.
Well,
There are.
I didn't look to see exactly what.
I can pull it up on a map if that's.
Oh, no, that's fine. I just was wondering.
Yeah, I've been up there before,
Yeah.
so.
I would just think with your guys' workload and being familiar with it, the sooner to get it done to beat the next construction season that coming might be a benefit to you guys to manage it earlier
Sure.
rather than
So,
later.
This is our second to last bridge on the 2012 sales tax. We have one more coming up. I'm hoping to get that bid in probably February. So with the proposed construction working days, it's either looking at, it was mid-February or mid-March when this project would be finished. So by that time, we should be ready to let the next project. So either we could probably work in as far as our schedule.
Now, where do the people that live there, where will they be rerouted to?
They can take Silver Creek, or I believe it's 69th to the east of Cave Creek.
And then just have to go up north up to Battle,
Yes.
go up to Boulevard.
This being a township road, we do not have a traffic count.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, before it's,
Did you have any thoughts on that, John?
It seems like to me, because of the reroute, it's gonna be a little bit longer. I would probably spend a little bit extra to get it done early, and then we can move on to some other things.
that's kind of what I'm feeling.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
all right, yeah, okay, let's agree. Go ahead.
Okay. Motion here. Well, I would make a motion to accept the proposed bid from Reese Construction for $190,979.78. With a projected time of 75 working days, beginning early December. 45, I'm sorry. This is 75.
I'll go ahead and second that motion.
All right, been moved and seconded to accept the proposal from Reese Construction for $190,979.78. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
I think so, 75 days.
Yeah, well, because it's talking about Clever, I don't get
Yeah,
it. Well,
and
we get to Reese, yeah.
All right. Sorry.
Okay, Commissioners, next I have purchase authorization for a used 2014 Freightliner 4x4 cab and chassis for Riley County Fire District number 1. This is what John had visited,
That's what he
John
showed,
Russell had visited with you last
what
meeting.
he showed us last, yeah.
I actually think that that's a pretty good deal, given the situation, the fact that we have the equipment attached to it. So I don't know. I think I see Russell there, somebody there. Which one is that replacing, if you don't mind?
Yeah, so Commissioners Doug Russell, Deputy Chief Operations, so it will replace one of the military 5 tons at 112 dam. And then their truck will go up north to 107 Mayday. And then it'll get rid of, take out of service, our oldest truck in the fleet, one of our old military 5 ton, it'll be in service, so. We've been looking and this one kind of came up and was close, so it checks all the boxes that we've been looking for.
Excuse me.
With what we already have, the bed and the tank already, it really makes sense, so.
Yeah, I think that makes sense too. I think that's obviously something we've been talking about all summer, is trying to get rid of those 50-year-old plus vehicles that we have. So definitely in favor.
We're replacing 1969,
Yeah.
It looks like it's in pretty good shape.
Yeah, it's in really good shape. So they had 2 of them originally. And so this one kind of stuck around a little bit longer because it was a little bit lower mile than the previous one. So they put some time into cleaning the cab out and did a lot of work to it. New tires and everything. So they'll just put the bed on it. We'll build the bumper and just kind of plumb it in a few things. So it'll make a really nice truck when it's done.
Good deal.
Let's see, well, I think I got this one right. I would make a motion to to approve a purchase authorization for a used 2014 Freightliner 4x4 cab and chassis for Fire District number 1 in the amount of $54,000 to be refunded by the Fire Department number 1 capital outlay.
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the purchase authorization for a used 2014 Freightliner 4x4 cab and chassis for the fire district, the amount of $54,000 to be funded by the RFP number 1 capital outlay fund. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Will please sign. you. Next, Commissioner, Riley County Employee Action Form for Brian Savage, EMT, EMS Ambulance Department, Separation of Service. Both please sign.
The one thing I signed, it says annualized pay of $6,541. That's gotta be a mistake. Because
No, he's a PRN. PRN is just the
Part-time.
Part-time.
Part-time fill-in.
okay,
Who wasn't getting much time. I'm guessing he found a full time.
yeah, you're probably not getting.
And that
enough
might have been
hours.
why sometimes when people aren't stepping up and covering the hours they want to help reduce overtime from keeping a higher level to have to fill in, they say, hey, okay, we need to find someone that's gonna give us more hours. Sometimes, I don't know that that's what happened here, but sometimes that does.
Yeah, I looked at that and went, it's pretty low.
Yeah. Thank you. Commissioners, any changes to the minutes?
I don't have anything.
I didn't have anything either.
Okay, I would make a motion to approve the minutes from November 4th, 2024.
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded to approve minutes of November 4th meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Tentative agendas look okay, Commissioners?
That's got today's.
It's got today, yeah. Got today,
It does, as I'm looking at. Sorry about
I
that.
noticed that too.
Does today's look okay?
Yeah. No, I need to revise it.
How about the
Ryan
14th?
has too many times.
How about the 14th, Commissioner? Okay. You do have the authority to adjust that. 14th look okay, Commissioners?
Yeah,
Any items for next week's press conference?
I don't have.
Remember the
We
count?
won't have next week's press conference because of Veterans Day.
True. Yep, the next week's.
Okay, the one we didn't get to see this time out.
Yeah, then we do have the canvas, of course, on the 14th election. So staff is working vigorously on provisional ballots as we speak. Much overtime this week because of that. So,
Yeah, I'm sure it's.
If I may add something there, Rich,
sure.
even being half a country away currently, I've been getting a lot of real positive feedback from Tuesday night's election. So I just wanted to pass that along. That's on all the poll workers, election workers, and of course our staff. Very much so appreciated.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Have a great election staff and all the other departments that help out. Can't do it without them.
Amen.
Next, Commissioners, we have 9 o'clock with Elizabeth Ward, Human Resources updates.
Well, I should brought some snacks. They got a moonshine store down there.
I've been there.
See this snacks.
Ew, bacon and cheese.
You want a cricket?
No,
You know, they're the new breakfasts.
it's very nutritional.
I'll try one after you do.
No, you go first.
You notice that? You notice they aren't
Some of
open.
those, didn't you? Did you have some of those?
No.
Oh, there's something missing,
I'd try one.
like bacon.
Yeah, I think I'll follow Rich's. I'll try one after someone else does.
Like 3 or 4 different flavors.
You haven't tried one?
There's bacon and cheese.
There you go.
I mean, it's better than just plain crickets.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
Next it'll be grasshopper. Do they have
Oh, I'm
some
sure
of
they
those?
have them.
I didn't see any of those.
I'm sure they have them.
They did have samples.
The moonshine store is neat. We bought some when we were there.
But we were tempted to.
No.
They have all different flavors. It's really
Yeah,
good.
they got a lot of
flavor.
different flavors.
It's really good. It's worth going up to that bar and sampling them. They're some
I mean, it's
tasty ones.
about a thimbleful that they
Uh-huh,
give you for a
yeah.
sample.
Mhm.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
I got these for my grandson.
You think he'll try?
Oh, I don't know. The youngest one might.
Just check them out.
Their sister will run from the room.
They might be tasty, yes.
Good protein.
Probably very nutritional, but I think I'd
Close your
rather
eyes.
take.
2 votes gets Brian's try one.
Yeah.
We dare you to.
It
We dare you.
did say other
Dare
duties as assigned,
That's
right?
You had to bring that up, Christian. You had to bring that up.
Slept like a dog.
I just, if I kept something, if I hadn't slept well. Finally wearing off, it was a little
Yeah,
getting going this morning.
Those drives and weather, they take you out.
Yeah.
it hit here about, it was like rush hour and I was out
Oh.
trying to find somebody's house to go give them some poll
Oh.
instructions. You know, and I was at clear up north somewhere. Like, and I couldn't, there were no lights and rain, just,
Well, like I say, once we got, closer than it turned dark, I mean, it was pitch black because of heavy clouds and rain and stuff. Going somewhere I'd never been before, they
oh,
they
yeah.
got a short-term rental in this place that I guess one of my brothers had used before, but it's often, it's a whole, they got I assume some of them are rentals, some of them are staying at this big place. Then once you get in there, you can drive in, go to this road and turn here and up around this hill and around here. And it's around the golf course, so it's zigzag all the way through it.
Every time I go to Branson, I get lost at least once, like every single.
I've never been there.
You never been there?
Roads,
Really?
roads
Like
up
to
and down, winding around the hills or.
Get a group of your buddies and go down.
Yeah, well,
Commissioner Bob Newsom, him and Lou Newsom, used to go every year and they always booked the exact same hotel room every year for years that they always went to.
Wow.
I always went around Christmas time to see all the Christmas
Yeah.
Yeah.
lights and stuff.
There's a real deep, and they have a whole bunch of stuff that you, when you walk in, you'd like to purchase, but absolutely nothing you need.
No.
There's this general store that, I don't know if you've been, it's in the old Branson town.
Dick's 5 and 9.
Yes, Dick's 5 and Dime.
He's been there for a long time and
Yeah.
he's not running anymore, but when we had a store, he was from the same supplier we did. He obviously bought a lot more because they had a yearly conference down there. And he still ran everything off of a yellow pad. He didn't have computer.
Really?
He kept everything on the yellow pad of paper, writing down all his notes that he kept.
See, and I should qualify it. They had things like if you're shopping for daily needs, they have a whole section of that, and it's good stuff. But when I'm there as a tourist, I walk through and it's aisle after aisle of all the things that you would buy in a 5 and Dime.
yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna say it's got all the old toys.
old toys
Yeah,
and stuff, right?
50s and 60s,
Oh, wow.
got all the stuff in it. And then they got stuff hanging in the ceiling. They got
Wow, that's fun.
some banners with stuff writing on them and stuff. It was. Yeah, it's quite a place.
I always seem to walk out of there with loot. Like that's a consistent thing. I'll be right back.
And there's a giant bookstore that Jan wanted to go to. So Wednesday, when we were all together, they went by there. And guys, they're not open yet. Let's pull up and see when they open. They close on Wednesdays.
Oh.
Who could, that's. Who closes?
It closes on Wednesdays. I guess it's middle of the week.
Yeah.
Are they open on Saturday, Sundays?
I don't know whether they're open on Sundays or not, but. We thought it was like at 9:30, so oh, they probably won't until 10. Let's go pull up there and see what it says on the thing. Got out. Oh. They're closing.
Well, that's a good thing. Get out there on Wednesdays. I thought about it, okay.
As a kid, we went to Silver Dollar City when it was kind of a new thing. And it was much smaller than it is now. It didn't have all the rides and everything. It's kind of old fashioned stuff, but people making things, stuff, making brains, candy and stuff. I mean, it used to be, it was just a fishing village. It's brands, it's like Tanny. Like, whatever that lake is in there. But it was good fishing and that's, people went down there to go fishing. And there was one or two shows of old time music and stuff. And it started taking off for some reason about the 70s or 80s. Went like crazy and then
Probably.
a bunch of them closed down. now there's not many shows, but they've got a bunch of other stuff. You got zip line. I was hoping to, because the last time we were there, I rode the zip line across the lake.
Did you? Oh, that'd be that fun.
My brothers, neither one of them were in this, because Janny, she's terrified of heights, which she went.
She went.
Well, like, and what it is on the landing next to the river is the landing spot, and the other end is up on, there's this giant, the other side is a huge cliff. And this, and what it is, it straps you in there and it drags you, no, it drags you, pulls you backwards all the way to the top, then lets you go.
You go
Oh,
over,
wow.
ooh. I don't know if I'd like that. That
Well,
sounds,
Jen
and I don't
said
mind
she
heights.
wanted to go in the dark over the lake, because that way she
you
said.
couldn't see
Yeah,
that.
not gonna see anything. Because I wanted, it was my birthday a couple of years ago when we were down there, and I wanted to ride it. And he says, well, I'm gonna go. Well, he says, oh, yeah. But they strapped, we had a little seat. And they strap you in and the lock on it. It's behind, and they've got a, a harness.
They won't let you get out of it.
Because you're not hanging like from the zip line. It's got a harness and they lock it in the back, so you can't even reach it to unlock. Hold yours.
If you really.
Oh.
Oh,
I'm like.
Bang in
Okay, I
it,
know
looks like you're gonna hit the building.
Ew.
Catfish and stuff.
I don't know if I'd like that. That's.
It was pretty neat, but my brothers were not interested, so.
I guess that hot air balloon, yes, it's probably got laid out.
I saw in the paper, they said they had Friday night, they had something where there were.
I know.
A few of them
Uh,
each other.
And the rest of it was.
Finally.
Had to be, well, it's a little late in the year to have it.
I always wanted to go to the one in New Mexico. I knew some people that used to go to that regularly. That'd be neat. It's pretty part of New Mexico, and it seems like it'd be a
My
neat
folks
event.
Down there.
Yeah, I went there, but
This year one hit a tower, a radio tower, I heard.
I was down there about 4 times when I was younger.
Was it worth it?
Oh, yeah.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah, I
It'd
had
be
some
cool.
friends that were good friends I did out with. It was crazy stuff. It was fun,
Mhm.
you know.
It could be worth a trip.
Yeah,
Part of
really.
the country's
Yeah.
pretty.
It's not that far away. It's always out in Denver. I just couldn't see us.
It was funny. I was just about to tell you about a friend of mine, and I was about to text him at the same time because he's a bow hunter as well, but he has a cabin at Shell Knob, which is close to Branson, that I've stayed at a few times, and we like going there. It's close to the lake and close enough to everything you can get to, but then secluded enough you can kind of hide out at the cabin.
Yeah.
It's a fun time. I haven't been there in a while. We always get bow hunting updates this time of year, and I was just about to text him, and he had just texted me before I picked up my phone.
But I mean, like I said, there was flooding in a lot of places, not in Branson, but kind of the areas around it. There was a tornado. Sirens went off. They checked around, they go, we don't have basements in Branson.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. There's several people from Manhattan that have cabins around Shell Knob, around the lake there.
Jen's folks lived down there, they retired,
Really?
and he was in Kimberlake City, which is another
Mhm.
spot out there.
Mhm.
Few seconds yet.
Mhm.
All right, good morning, Commissioners. Elizabeth Ward, Human Resources Director. So I haven't been here since August because of various meeting locations and things that we've got going. But I did want to give you an update then for September and October. So current head count is up to 295 and 367 in seasonal stipend, and that is the highest that we've been this year, for various reasons, elections and fire and different things. You can see, we had a 2-month there that we had 14 hires and 8 separations, and then that totals for the year. One of the things I'm kind of keeping my eye on, and maybe you noticed, Greg, is that turnover rate is up. We've been hovering around 14%, give or take. And so it has been increasing slightly, and then of course, conversely, our average tenure is going down. It's not leaps and bounds, but we were just over 9 and now we're at 8.7. So I am really happy about our current openings, of course, Rich is going to add one to our.
Sure, blame it on me.
It's you. But so our community corrections position has been a little bit difficult to recruit. And we're not sure, we don't have a handle on that, but we did do we tweaked some things with recruiting, and we've had a lot of good candidates since then. Michelle was just interviewing, Michelle and Shiloh were interviewing today for treasurers, and previously this week. The museum is actually in their 2nd round of interviews, so they have some really high potential candidates there. And then Public Works is the facility tech, and that one is really frustrating us. So we have been doing it seems to be in line with all of the positions that have that skill set. It just appears to me that these particular hands-on technical skill sets are not abundant. And so John and I have talked about if we can get kind of one of the 3 areas that we want to get experience in, 1 or 2, and then maybe we can train and even do some MATC courses or whatever we need to get them up to speed. If they have HVAC, but they don't have.
Oh, that's it. The HVAC. And
Yeah, it's the
maintenance.
facility tech. Yeah, we only have really 2 facility people,
Right.
and this is the tech position, and we've been open quite a while with that one. So then this is, let's see. This is kind of those positions. This is something that Commissioner Ford had asked for, just as a kind of an idea of how many positions have been open for what he can be extended period of time. So this is throughout the year, and then I did add that the only new one on there is the facility tech. So those other positions at the top are not necessarily open right now. They're just positions that over the year have been open for what we would maybe consider an extended period of time. And we don't include EMS or any of our as-needed positions in that. So we continue with that highly effective managers program, and I really have been enjoying that and getting good feedback. So we have 11 managers in that, and many of them are almost the entire management team, supervisory team from health department is there. We've got some people from the clerk's office and treasurer's office, and so it's been a really good opportunity for those participants to get a little bit more management experience. And so not only do they learn those at each meeting, but then they go out and they have activities to do with their staff to either increase communication, either increase communication or conflict resolution or creating a positive culture, those kinds of things. You were both at Employee Day, and I think overall it was a wonderful success. We're going to have a full overview presentation on the 18th that'll come from the co-chairs of that subcommittee. And I think you'll see that we also did a good job efficiently with the budget, so that's great. We have been doing a lot of supervisor mentoring and growth in the health department, and we did have an opportunity to send several supervisors to the legal aspects of management through KAC, which came back also with good response. So that was a good opportunity. Kind of a list of some compliance things, and you will notice that several of these have been on the list now since July. We did finish the FLSA review of position classification and reposition or reclassified 3 positions that needed to be either, they all needed to be moved either to exempt or non-exempt. We have completed all the discipline action retraining. We had to go back through to a couple departments and do some retraining of discipline actions to make sure that everything was compliant. And then the other items there in the middle have been on my list for since the summer, so I have not made progress. I am still working with Jesse on the CJIS background compliance. The volunteer firefighters handbook acknowledgement, I think, is a success. We have less than 8. I think it might be down to 3 to 5, yeah. Yeah, and so that's been great. The firefighting team, the managers there really assisted. I've gone out to meetings. Michelle has done a ton of communication and resetting of passwords and access. And I think we at least have had some good communication with all the volunteers. And then, yeah, I think the rest, we have been, there's a couple of things, and Brian and I were just talking recently about some things that need to be potentially adjusted with the manual, so I will work on getting some updates to you towards the beginning of 25. It will not be a complete overhaul like we did last year, just tweaks to some of the policies or clarifications. We do have the health department director. I put Phil, it has been offered contingently and accepted, and we are waiting on the final. We didn't get anything this morning, did we? Yeah, so we're waiting on the final response back to see that she successfully completed the requirements. Administrative services manager in public works, which is also a very impactful position, is filled with an internal candidate. And then our employee day spend was under budget, which is also an awesome thing when we have such a great day. So in September, we did several career fairs, had some good conversations. We got some other staff involved who really gave us good feedback, and we're able to more talk about their areas. Obviously HR can do career fairs and we can do the recruiting piece, but the students really enjoy talking to people who do the jobs. And so the more that we can get people out there to participate in those, I think the better success we'll have. We had EAP sessions out so we had our EAP provider come and do presentations in 2 different departments in their department meeting. Michelle hosted the health insurance benefits fair. Well, she prepped it in September and hosted it in, the very last 2 days of September.
Well, it was during the strategic retreat.
Yeah, so did host it in September as well. We are prepping for evaluations, performance evaluations, and we have launched those now. People are working on them, and we're still tweaking some of the supervisors or different changes and the final reviewers and things like that. And then we did have that United Way campaign success as well. Michelle worked extremely hard on open enrollment in October, and we ended up having out of all of our employees, 1 employee who did not register for state benefits, and three employees who did not get AFLAC benefits enrolled. But we had a really robust conversation with department heads moving forward about how we can work together to make that not a last minute situation. We had several employees unfortunately leave it until the very last day and actually the very last night. So not a lot we can do at 8 o'clock on the 31st.
Well, that's the problem that creates, commissioners, by departments not being sure that people are signing up for those. That creates overtime for our staff last minute. And I instructed staff 5 o'clock, too late, too bad. But then that's going to be the department's problem when it's not the department head's problem until a month later that employee goes, I need benefits I don't have. And then all of a sudden the department head is going to get interested in it and then come to us to see what we can do. And so we're going to tighten that up, because the lack of effort on that side creates more work on our side and staff having to stay after and do stuff. And so we'll be having discussions on how to change that.
And we actually, Michelle's come up with a really good plan. She started to work with some department heads to make a plan moving forward, and it wasn't one night. I mean, Michelle worked weekends and evenings throughout the month, which is part of it. Open enrollment is a big deal and it's important. But we can't, it's just so difficult when we're that last day and a half, and she's trying to get people in before the midnight deadline. And Rich's example is true, and what we talked about with the department heads is this is a retention tool. People can't stay in jobs if they don't have stability, if they don't have financial stability and they don't have benefits, and their children and spouses don't have health insurance, they will need to leave. There's actually nothing we can do in his scenario a month later. That there's literally nothing we can do. They can go on the open exchange and get health benefits potentially. But if they quit their job and move to another one, is what would make them eligible. So that it really is it's a Riley County issue. Besides the fact that we're required to be able to offer and show that we offer to every employee. So we have done some things in the health department over the month. And so this is just kind of a quick review. We've been working a lot to realign the work from home and flexible scheduling culture that we've had down there and really get people back into the offices. We have had some of the supervisors go to the legal aspects of management training to try to get up to par on some of those laws. We've been doing some in the MCH program, employee relations, staffing, structuring, WIC employees, we've had a lot of employee relations as well, and that doesn't necessarily be a bad thing. Those are just conversations that we're having to get realigned with where we need to be and understand the policies that, and not how they've been applied, but how they are in actuality. CCL, I think you're aware, we've been working with KDHE and the staff there. Raising Riley, we did a little bit with their client management. They are short a position. They lost a position early on and we decided to hold filling that until we got a director in place. So we had to help them kind of work through that. And then they've had, they needed some administrative assistance with some of their client concerns. Clinic employee relations and operations has also been part of our time. And then FEP and MRC, and I wanted to mention Lori Harrison because she has taken the lead in our FEP and MRC and has really helped us. She's emergency management, so there's overlap there, but it's not exactly the same. And she's done a really good job of communicating with the coordinators at the state level, as well as the volunteers here. So that's hopefully I know she would love to pass that on to a new person, but we'll have to get that position filled as well. Michelle's still working and we've started to work a little bit, but we had initially kicked off this employee skills certificate tracking with health department supervisors. And so that has gone on hold because that's something that we're just going to continue to manage until we're stabilized there. And then we have been doing more training really. So we've got a medical director recruitment. We've got our medical director the contract will be ending in 25, the reproductive care medical advisor. We've been working to recruit there, and our new APRN has some connections. There will be a new reproductive care medical advisor, and then of course the open positions. And performance evaluations. So that's our upcoming slate.
Could have tried to end on a positive note.
Performance evaluation, that everyone loves them, commissioners, department heads, everything. So. All right, so if you don't have any questions, that's our.
Thanks, Elizabeth.
Thank you.
Next commissioner, Joe Ian Smith at about 9:15, hopefully.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I am.
I tried to stuff it takes.
I know what it is.
It's not, that's never good. It's not working.
We'll go in 3 minutes, Ann.
Yeah.
Hi, I don't think we've met. I'm Ann Smith. I'm the executive director.
Or deputy counselor, then they tell me ascending to the Mount Confidence Lansing position.
Okay, great. Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
It's good to meet one of these.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
The schedule and stuff we have is all. So if we can.
Yeah. Tuesday night. I don't sleep well. Let's sleep well. We booked that one. That's the first one.
At least there was something interesting to watch.
Yeah, there's stuff to watch.
Mhm, for sure. Yeah, Susan in the office, she's, we were all dead tired. She likes watching that for the presidential. And she said she stayed up till 1:30, and we had to be back to work at 7 after we had a 17-hour day.
Longer to get your first report. Usually that first report, I mean, you get the advanced data report, and then you get that next one. Usually it's, I thought it was usually out.
It just depends on, we go based on how many get back to them, because we like to kind of do them in even batches as far as number wise, and it depends on how long. In a presidential, it takes them longer to balance at the polling place because the numbers are so big. So we gotta wait for that.
But it's equal, but you got the 15, the first 15, and then the next one came pretty quick. I realized that's the big one, and then you just got the outlying ones that come in.
See, that's the ones that take longer is the ones in town, because that's where the numbers are so much bigger.
So.
And so since it's taking them longer, that the smaller ones in the rural county balance quicker, so that gives them time to get in, so that's why they were closer behind,
Yeah, they were
you
right.
know,
Yeah,
they don't have
I
near the numbers.
That took that long for the first one out, and then bam, the
Mhm.
rest of them were there.
Yeah, yeah, presidential elections are just totally different. Good for you.
Go ahead, Ann.
Hi, good morning, commissioners. Well, it's that time of year again for us. We started our federal and state grant cycles. So the request today for you is to provide a letter of support for our section 5311, our rural transit services. So that's basically everything outside of Manhattan and Ogden. And then we will submit that this month. It'll be probably March or April of next year before we find out. We're not really planning to ask for more money. KDOT is basically spending all their money, so there's not a lot for them to increase right now, so. No big changes. We have some, our transit study underway right now, which is analyzing our current services and looking for efficiencies and ways that we can improve our services in a fiscally constrained manner. And so right now we have a survey open. We have had our first round of open houses and stakeholder meetings. And so you have a little infographic there. I would encourage you please to share with others, and if you feel so inclined to, please take the survey. It just kind of gauges the interest and needs of the community with regard to transportation. So if you have any questions, I'd be happy to take them for you.
Are you and this was brought up to me in the past week, are you getting any response to doing a student shuttle? People wanting that or?
So we have been doing a lot of talking to K-State. We currently only have one bus on campus. Starting next semester, because that one bus is at capacity a lot of the time and it's creating a lot of issues. So they have agreed in the January, the start of the spring semester, to add one more bus on campus. And I think long-term, I think it's gonna be a struggle to get free fares throughout our service system for K-State ID holders. However, K-State has acknowledged that there is a need. So our newly minted East-West Express, which is an effort that we have put into place to create quicker travel times, traveling from Dillon's West Loop, hitting Aggieville, going out to Walmart. They will agree this month to provide some funding to help support that service. And for that one route only, K-State ID holders will be able to ride that one fare free. So there'll be some more information coming out about that later this month. So I think we're just in a space where we kind of back to square one, I think, with K-State, unfortunately, in that regard. And I know they're doing a facilities master plan right now, and we've been able to provide input to that, but it's gonna be a long journey, unfortunately.
What was the cost of that for K-State? You had to know that offhand.
It's approximately $40,000.
Really? That's all?
This is kind of a pilot. We had previously asked them for $150,000 to be fare free for the whole system. And that's not on the table for them to do that.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
One step at a time.
Yeah,
Yeah, write a little more out of them to get the second bus.
Yeah. So that the second bus is a separate, that's funded, or that doesn't include that. It's-
Yeah, that's separate. fund,
Yeah, the service on campus is funded separately, so,
okay.
yeah. I know, I can't hide my disappointment about the whole situation, so.
Well, yeah. We'll
So
see
we're
what-
the only Big 12 community that does not have a student tuition fee that supports public transportation.
Yeah, and John, if you're still on, I guess I would encourage the commissioners, because you guys go to some meetings with K-State
Mhm.
officials and maybe start getting a little more involved in assisting Ann and expressing how important that is to our economy locally.
Absolutely.
Be happy
Well,
to-
actually, I've had the conversation. I'm getting the interpretation that they're thinking about trying to do something internally. And I don't know what that is at this point in time, but that seems to be part of I guess what's going to be a larger discussion, and it may still include ATA. I don't know, but that seems to be the general focus when that conversation comes up. Are you hearing the same thing there, Ann?
I'm hearing that they're going to focus a lot on e-scooters again.
Those things laying all over town
And
again.
I have heard that they're focusing on more parking. So
Okay.
I think that I have heard Commissioner Ford that I've heard something along the lines that you're talking about, but I have no idea what that would mean, because
Yeah, I didn't. I thought maybe it would be something maybe along the lines of what they're doing at the University of Kansas, where they have kind of a shuttle bus that just kind of runs routes, somewhere places on the university, but I don't really know either, and I don't want to speculate on that. But I know there is a conversation that exists about it, and I guess we got to keep engaging with them and for lack of a better term, steer them in the right direction.
The cost to the students, if the university tries to run its own transit system, will be much, much higher.
I agree.
It will
And
be
they're gonna
much
Buy
higher.
buses and all that.
We
so-
asked for $10 3 years ago, $10 per semester for student tuition fee, and the answer was no. They're not going to start their own system and have it not be anything other than extremely expensive.
That's
You
crazy.
said that was 3 years ago you asked for that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That was with the old administration, correct?
No, sir, it was not. It was the current administration.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, we want to be great partners to K-State.
Sure.
I think we all do.
Yeah.
But not knowing exactly where they're at and it's challenging. It makes it hard for us to plan for the future. So.
Well, we'll do what we can to help out.
I appreciate it enormously.
Yeah, I can definitely reach out to a couple of people up there, including some of the they've hired a couple of new community relations people. We can certainly reach out and have that dialogue.
So one of the things that we are going to do first part of next year is we're gonna put together a roundtable. We want to invite you, the city, all of our jurisdictional partners and K-State and start some conversations.
I like that idea.
Because we're at this, it takes so long to get new vehicles, it takes so long to hire it. If we want to grow the system and make it what it can be to serve our communities, it takes time. And we can't in 6 weeks, put out a new route. or we can't get new buses in 6 weeks. It takes over a year. And so that we have to know what is the future hold? Where are we gonna be? And how do we help K-State see the vision for the whole community?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. We have the venue next year that we're the host of, commissioners, with all those players invited. Those meetings already to encourage K-State staff and legislators to attend that as for a whole hour to discuss that with all the players involved. We host the intergovernmental luncheons next year, and all of those players are involved.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was actually just gonna suggest that, Rich. I don't know what we have for topics for like January, and maybe that's a little too soon, but maybe one of those meetings in the first quarter. This would be a good subject.
Yeah. That'd be a good idea.
Is there any way to get some sort of a reasonable figure on what the economic impact is?
We can work on that for sure. Chamber would have a lot of that
Talk to the
information to
chamber.
help
Yeah,
us. So
Yeah.
they should have that,
I
but I
mean,
don't
we have
know. Do you know?
some data,
Okay.
yes. I mean, just one example. We have just completed the second of 2 projects that we did with the city of Manhattan. 600 points, and we had a small piece of the Green Mountain North Manhattan project. That was just under $1 million that we brought in directly to this community with federal funds for 2 projects. That's more money in 2 years that we've brought into the city of Manhattan than the city of Manhattan has provided funding to us in the last 10 years. So being able to apply for some of these federal funds and some of these projects, it's a game changer for our community, and we're leaving money on the table by not going after some of these projects. We just spent $1 million at Riley County Public Works expanding our facility. That was all federal and state funds. There was no local dollars involved in that project. That's money that went directly into this economy. And those are just 3 examples.
I would think you may even have some state contacts at the Capitol that might be interested in encouraging K-State to help out.
Several people.
We probably need to move on, Commissioners.
Yeah, we do.
If I can get a motion on the letter of support.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Yeah, this is a good discussion.
Thanks, Ann. Appreciate it. Let us know what you need and getting information for that meeting together.
Thank you, we will do.
Well, I would make a motion to approve a letter of support for the grant for the UTA bus system.
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the letter of support for a grant application from the Adabus. All in favor?
Aye.
Both please sign.
Thank you. Please have a great day.
You
You
too. Thank
too.
you, Ann.
And Rich, anything that I need to sign from today's meeting, you can just have Cindy leave in my box, and I'll either take care of it on Tuesday or Wednesday when I get back.
Yep, I'm sure she will. Yeah, we have a couple items. Thank you. You.
50,000.
It's on 40,000. That might be to do
That
that.
was before
Yeah.
150.
And 150 is what they requested to get this. Because right now it's got one bus that runs around campus, and they said it was standing and people getting irritated. And but they had cut off the funding last year. So we didn't have a meeting with them, got the funding to put the second one right there and also to freeze on the one back and forth. But.
Ready, Commissioners?
You up?
9:20.
Oh, I was looking at the 9:30. I just skipped right by.
Okay.
So that's just in the essence of time, commissioners, and to get you
Yeah.
caught up, I just need a motion.
Nice.
Well, let's see. What do we-
Commissioners,
the previous one to go on, just slip one right in there.
Commissioners, this position is the position that currently Lori Muir has. It's and she is the one that is transferring up to the Public Works Department. This position, Elizabeth and I have talked, and Michelle, and it's a position that's really hard for most people to really understand the importance of. And first, commissioners, this position is what I refer to as our real estate division, and this is the head of our real estate division. This division, I know Commissioner Ford's always pushing us to do more with less personnel wise. It previously had 3 people in the position. It currently has 2. There's not an open position in it. We reduced it down. I've explained to the commissioners my philosophy. Frustrates some of my current staff, of course, but I like to hire really good people and overload them, because the less people I have, less positions, frankly, the less headaches I have. Anyone administers personnel would agree with that, and that's just being frank. And so that's how I tend to do it, and that's how this is structured. So you say, well, it's just a division of 2. The workload is an overly full load or 2. Lori's here, she could attest to the amount of time she puts in getting the tax roll to balance, the R&R statements. You don't think that was a game changer? This is the position and division that does all of that. So to explain the importance to this organization and to the community, that's why I got the short explanation up here. I mean, commissioners, the treasurer's office prints and mails the tax statements. All of those numbers on there don't get done unless this position has them right and balances them. Every number that is on your tax statement, other than the appraised information, which comes from the appraiser's office, comes from this position. If this position and division don't exist, tax statements don't get out, no taxing entities get any tax money. That's how important this position is. And so that's why I'm asking for the upgrade in the position, along with filling the position. It's critical this position gets filled. This position doesn't get filled, we don't have the capacity to get that done. But it is that level of responsibility. And I'm not going to read through the whole job description for you, commissioners, but the short explanation in the commission agenda report and the big picture, I think, really hit it right on as the importance of this. R&R is a game changer. We talk about burnout with employees. I can tell you, Lori would tell you, since R&R, she's been there every year at some point in time. It's that stressful when you have good people that take their job that seriously. She doesn't leave until it's done and done right. And and it's an exempt position, so there's no benefit financially for that position to stay, but they do it because they're dedicated to Riley County and their job. So that's why I'm asking for what we're asking here in the position.
You said the job description's expanded now, because it
We
wasn't.
clarified it.
Adding what she was doing, but it wasn't in there. Is that,
Yeah, and
that's
we-
my understanding.
And we thought it was kind of in there, but we just didn't explain it real well. And we've gone back to Lori's input as well and visiting with Elizabeth. I told Elizabeth, I said, we've just never done a good job throughout the entire Riley County, really explaining the importance and making it so someone like the commissioners can read it and say, oh, that's a really important position. It didn't really look like that on paper before. But commissioners, this position looks at every budget, every mill levy of every taxing entity. And this position says we need to tell this one they're not staying within R&R, so we got to keep them at R&R. That's the authority this office has when it comes to R&R by state law. Public entities just can't tell us what they want to budget. It has to fall within state law. This position has to know the state laws and say, sorry, you can't get that. We're going to hold you to R&R. And we send them letters and tell them that. And we had to do that this year. So that is the level of importance of this position. There is only the person that is under this position, besides myself, because I came from the treasurer's office years ago and dealt with tax and tax roll, have the knowledge in detail of this position in doing those numbers. It's a lot of numbers, but it's totally different numbers than what budget and finance does in a different arena.
Commissioners, I would like to add, very mindful of time. And Commissioner Ford, I didn't mean to cut you off at all, but I just wanted to reiterate what Rich is saying. There's really 3, if not 4 departments that are crucial to our property tax assessment and collection mechanism. In this position, Lori's done an amazing job, right? But she is at the heart and soul of what, of that process. And there is a ton of responsibility that goes with it. So I just wanted to provide additional explanation to go with what Rich was saying. Thank you.
I needed some clarification in terms of the car and the way it was laid out. I mean, I understand Lori's been here for a long time, so obviously moving up on the ladder is going to move up in grade and because of experience and everything else, but it's moving to a 13. Is that what you're grading it out at? But it's going up $117,000.
Yeah, it's currently a 13. We're recommending to go to a 15, which is structurally with a level of knowledge and experience and supervisory requirements and contacts that it grades out similarly to other positions within the organization.
I think, John, this is Elizabeth. I think you're asking because what I have Lori's current rate, and you are correct that Lori has been here for years. So she is at the top of the pay grade for the 13. So we currently, and the reason I did that is to show what we're currently budgeted for. So our budget covers her current salary for 24 and 25. And what we're asking is to move it to a 15 and expecting this person to come in with 3 or less years.
We're not gonna get somebody with 20 years
Right.
experience.
Right. And
So it's a
that'd
little
be
bit
great
out
if we
of
did,
margins,
but
but
yeah.
I wanted you to see that it was already budgeted at the higher rate.
The higher rate.
Okay. So the rate that we're going to is actually lower than the one it's current.
Well,
That's
it's
what it looks.
the range is higher, but we are not going to hire someone with 20+ years of experience.
Right.
in this job. So what we'll end up with is the current person makes more money and the budget is covering more than what the expected new person will, even though,
Okay. I got you.
yeah,
I just the way that was listed, it was, the expanded part said 117 and then the current one was, I think it was 139 or something. I don't have it in front of me. I'm working off the phone today, but so I thought that was a little confusing. That's all. So that's fun.
come there with
Clarified.
expected rate, so.
Yeah, you're gonna have somebody new at a lower rate start,
Yeah.
lower step.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Years of experience will not be applicable, so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's something too, commissioners, that, finding an appraiser position is hard enough. I mean, people that work in the appraisal have to appraise, there's a limited amount of people out there with that knowledge. It's 10 times less with this type of knowledge.
Yeah.
No one else, like I said, for the entirety of Riley County, this one position, the only one that does that work. There's no other public entity that has a comparable position that does that level of work.
And I have worked with the other counties and there's not anyone that does this by themselves, this kind of work either. They've got it kind of meshed into deputy clerk positions or clerk positions. And it's gonna be a grow your own, train your own internal position.
Unless we can steal someone.
What counties are you talking to, Elizabeth? Are you talking to ones that are comparable to Riley County?
No, I've been talking to the ones that are nearest us, but we will have to, because I'm thinking about recruitment, so.
Right. And that's what I'm saying in terms of trying to get relevant experience towards what this position does. I mean, you're going to have to look at like a Douglas County, a Leavenworth County, something like that deals, that's similar into work and similar into property and similar into numbers.
Yes, for the creation of the job description, correct, but I don't know that it's more difficult to recruit from afar. But yes, I agree. I guess the experience level in our workforce doesn't match this, I don't believe, but we shall work it and train it and grow it.
So we've started 117 and then
That's the expectation.
That's your guess.
expectation.
Yes,
is what
because you're
we'll
just
start.
trying to guess how many years experience they're
Yeah,
gonna
yes.
have. New will
And
have.
remember, that's with benefits, so that's
Yeah.
not salary,
Right,
just so,
Yeah, that was confusing, John. I was confused too on that. So.
Yeah. Okay. I wanted to ask for that clarification before we move forward. And I 100% agree with you, Rich, that the position is absolutely vital, but in terms of dollars and cents, I wanted to make sure we had that shook out.
Yep, absolutely.
Any other questions?
Okay, well, let's see, I would make a motion to approve the expanded real estate specialist position as proposed and open the position for advertising.
I'll second.
Been moved to approve the expanded real estate specialist position as proposed and open position for advertising. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Commissioners. So please sign. Halftime for Anna.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I go ahead and get started? Good morning, Commissioners. Anna Burson of the Riley County Appraiser's Office, here to give you our monthly staff update. So on the personal property side of things, last month our team certified the personal property valuation update for the clerk. And since then, we've been locked out of contact while they're working through some things. We continue to process changes that are submitted by property owners as they're coming in. And additionally, our team is scanning real estate records to support our digital initiative and assisting our residential team across various tasks. We're also updating the personal property section of our website to align it with the recent legislative changes in July. Aiming to have those updates completed by December 1st. And preparing for mailing renditions in December one last time to our property owners. On our ag side, we're conducting annual re-inspections on properties due for re-inspection, processing those updates to the agricultural land boundaries and uses, and on those return maps that we've received. And we're also reviewing those agricultural sales. On the residential side of things, there's been approximately 851 residential home sales in 2024 so far, with a median sale price of $248,500, an average sale price of $274,609. And our current sales ratio is sitting at 93%. What that means is overall, we are 7% below what those homes are selling for. Little on the low side, but still not too bad. The team is actively reviewing sales, and our annual review phase is approximately 90% complete. All small claims relating to the 2024 values have been concluded, and we're just waiting for results from the Board of Tax Appeals. And we are pleased to announce that we've filled our vacant residential position, and our training and our department is ongoing and continuing. This last month, I have assisted in some of that training and will continue as we move forward. The residential trend and land analysis have been completed and submitted to the Property Valuation Division for our first big deadline relating to November 1st deadline. And the trend for residential sale prices is roughly 5% for 2025. Building permits will begin as soon as we get our annual review wrapped up here shortly. On the commercial team, they are reviewing building permits, they're finalizing depreciation analysis, and also preparing for our BOTA hearings. Oral arguments were held last Friday in Topeka on the 2018 Home Depot case. And this week, Walgreens was scheduled to be heard in Topeka on Wednesday and Thursday. We received notification after several attempts to try to get a reduction, they've dismissed the case. So that is 4 years of Walgreens and parking lots all dismissed, and you'll see that on that spreadsheet. So really excited,
With the staff.
really excited for that.
Anna,
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I don't have the information in front of me. Is that both Walgreens locations or just one?
There's only
Oh,
one
okay.
Walgreens location. There's two separate owners. And so that other Walgreens case
Okay,
is still scheduled in December, I believe is the date.
okay,
So then, let's see here, where was I?
sorry.
You're okay, no worries. The commercial trend and land analysis has also been completed. That was submitted to PVD for that November 1st deadline, and the trend for commercial is roughly 1%. So in other business in this last month, we've seen an increased volume of exemption applications, 10 of them from the city of Manhattan, of which 8 of them have been submitted to date. I've worked through making letters of recommendation and whatnot, and reviewing and ensuring everything is included in those packets. And so, as an FYI to the commissioners, the Board of Tax Appeals is 2 years behind on exemption applications. And so, just keeping you informed of what's going on with that. We are assisting, again, I'm assisting the residential team with ongoing training. Our commercial department is also going to be assisting our residential team as we get into building permits, because there's a lot of them to work through. Addressing those legislative changes as it relates to personal property and the future rendition mailing. Just kind of really reviewing, reallocating resources to make sure we still meet those statutory deadlines as we're working through the training phase. I collaborated with John Ellerman and his team at the Public Works in preparation for a CIP request to replace one of our vehicles. I really appreciate their efforts, and I'm not a mechanic, so their help is definitely much appreciated. I do not specialize in automotive. Planning updates for our P card changes as requested. We have made several changes from Brittany in the finance. We have reduced our number of cards substantially. We're also reviewing and discussing improvements to our parcel search website functionality, and I'll be in conversations with the clerk's office and the treasurer's office and IT just to ensure what direction we go is going to meet all of our needs. Working on performance reviews, and we are going to have a big Eagle View training next week. So here is what the spreadsheet looks like. And one thing I really wanted to point out on this is after comment on the total, I double checked some numbers and there was a miscalculation in one of those numbers. And so with those Walgreens cases in there, that number is $256,788,160. The Walgreens cases are over $10 million that will drop off of that. And so all of that in green is going to go away for the next update. So we have substantially reduced.
That takes a big
the number.
chunk.
It's
It's a
really-
big bite out of there.
It's a big bite, so definitely excited for that, for that
Amen
outcome.
on that.
And so it was not a 400 million outstanding, it's in the 200, still not great, but definitely not in the fours, so. Reviewed all of that to double check calculations, just a miscomputation. Was typed in one of those numbers, so this has the updated hearings and when they'll be held. Several in 2025, I think, we do have the Walgreens Friday, December 13th, and Topeka currently scheduled. Everything else, I believe, has been pushed into 2025. You guys have any questions? All right, well, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Thank you, Commissioner.
Vote of progress.
Progress, yes, it's definitely exciting to see some of that progress. So it takes time and our team's done a really good job in preparing and
That
making
that
sure
sheet
those
is
cases.
spread out almost 1.5 pages.
Yes,
Yes, it's a lot
So,
better.
huge net,
Yeah.
definitely hoping to continue to see that drop over the next year. So thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Went full-time, Brian,
Yes, it should.
till 10:05.
Yep, 10:05. Okay. All right, appreciate it.
10:05.
You'll have Commissioner Ford on the speakerphone. Commissioners,
Move the county commission, including Chairman Ford, Vice Chairman McKinley, and Commissioner Foki, recess into executive session on potential litigation with
you there?
Clancy Holtman, County Councilor,
Yep.
Brian Parker, and James Hanson, Deputy County Councilors, attorneys of the commission, which would be deemed privileged in the attorney-client relationship, an exception to the Kansas Open Meeting Act. Open meetings resume in the county chambers at 10:05.
I would second that.
Been moved and seconded to go into executive session. All in favor?
Aye.
Commissioners meeting black.
I move the Board of County Commissioners come out of executive session.
I would second that.
And move and second to come out of executive session. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
And then, who the record reflect no binding action was taken during the executive session.
I would second that.
Moved and seconded, record reflect no binding action was taken during the executive session. All in favor?
Aye.
Ms. Elizabeth, or are you doing this one?
I am. Sorry,
She
trying to
kept
get
saying you
caught up,
had your name here, but she was kind of
caught up
Going to you.
here.
I went ahead and hung up on the other line, Rich.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, Commissioner Rich Barber, Riley County Clerk. Here to request that we fill a public health nurse position. We have a position that just became open recently. I think you understand the critical nature of needing a public health nurse in the health department clinic right now with flu shots and COVID shots. And so that individual had a full schedule. They're gonna have to figure out how they're gonna manage that with limited staff right now. So I'd asked Elizabeth to kind of put this on the fast track to get it before you. That's why it was a late addition on the commission agenda packet. But it's definitely critical given the time of the year, and we'd like to start pursuing filling this position as quickly as possible. There is no increase in grade or anything on this, and it is budgeted for.
Okay. Johnny, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm fine. I think it's important. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Great, okay. Well, then I'd make a motion to approve the requisition to fill the public health nurse position for recruitment.
I'll second. Been moved and seconded to approve requisition to fill the public health nurse position for recruitment. All in favor?
Aye.
Bye.
Thank you, commissioners. Next, you have Mr. Holman at 10:10. Next, you got caught up. Both please sign.
This is RN or LPN or what initials do they get? I didn't see on that.
And
Public health
PH, not
nurse.
PH.
Elizabeth? Does it have to be an RN for this position or not? It does? Okay, it doesn't say RN on there, so that's what
I
we're
don't
wondering.
even know the difference, but I know RN and LPN and all.
No, it has to be an RN, so it talks about, in which it doesn't have to be a 4-year RN, but it has, you can get a 2-year RN and a 4-year RN. It talks about that in the position description itself, but yes.
And I get confused on all these things.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is, there's different levels of RNs with a 2-year and a 4-year bachelor's and.
And we would accept either this experience, so.
Thank you.
I heard a stand-up the other day about the difference between nurse types.
Thank you.
And I thought it was
I've
hilarious.
heard, I think what you're gonna say as well.
It was hilarious because it said, as you move up the qualification of nurse, right? When you start at an LPN level, right? That sounds the most official. You're a licensed practical nurse. And then you go, it's like you're registered. That means you're not, I mean, obviously it's not true, but you're registered. What does that mean?
Yeah, dogs are registered.
I know, that's what the comic was pointing out, and it's like, this is hilarious.
Some of them are registered.
And then you get all the way up to like a doctor or nurse practitioner, it's like, so you're just practicing? Like, you're not even.
That's all medical doctors do. They're practicing medicine.
That's right. Well, that's what we call practice.
Lawyers.
I've never gotten the law perfect, right, or right, I'm just practicing each day, trying to get better.
It was always told to me, LPN and RP and RN, the difference is low paid nurse, rich paid nurse.
Rich
Wonder which of those two positions uses that definition?
I like that one. I'm gonna have to remember that one.
Tell my daughter that, see if she'll,
Uh-huh.
I can't remember
Yeah, you've got
what
it.
initials she's.
Yeah, mine are both got their bachelors, they're RNs.
RNs,
4-year. Mhm.
Pretty sure she's already.
They're all hardworking, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, they work nice.
You can go ahead. Clancy.
Good morning, Commissioners. Clancy Holman, Raleigh County Counselor. And I'm disappointed you're gonna be in this, but I don't have anything to really bring to you during the administrative time. So unless you've got questions on anything, glad to try and answer it. The one thing you got coming up is you had a discussion last Thursday about extending the deadline for the RFP on the Indigent Defense Services work. And so that's gonna happen. That'll be provided to the Bar Association members today through their contact point, and emphasizing that it's been extended to December 6th. And that'll be December 6th, close of business.
Yeah, I've got one, Clancy.
On that day. I'm sorry, John.
I've got one when you're done.
Okay, then I'm done.
Now's probably a good time to start reaching out to candidates for the legislative conference on the 12th.
Oh, yeah, no, that's happening today.
Okay, okay.
We got the election.
Exactly. It actually works out pretty well.
Hmm.
And the ambiguity about whether or not to invite somebody who's a candidate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I will do is anybody who's a sitting member of the delegation, and no matter what the result was, they will be invited to attend.
Okay.
As well as,
And then all the new ones that are, I guess,
Exactly.
legislator elect.
Yeah.
Okay.
that's the idea.
I know there'll be some kind of I guess they call it freshman orientation or something that
Mhm.
happens somewhere in that same time frame. So that's why I say get on top of it now.
Absolutely.
Get in on their schedules. I'm sure they're gonna start getting a lot of calls.
Sure.
Yeah. Yep, yep.
Meeting a lot of people.
So, other than that, if nothing else to get to you, I'm glad to answer any questions.
Good to go.
All right, thank you. You have a break.
Commissioner McKinley, you had asked, we sent out, including federal service, 2,319. We've received back around 1,900 so far. So overwhelming majority have come back already.
Say that again, Rich. I'm sorry.
We mailed out 2,319. That includes federal service, and around 1,900 have come back.
Oh, okay. That's not bad. How many of those you think are going to be acceptable or count?
Well, they're mail ballots. That's mail ballots.
Oh, okay, okay.
Oh yeah, the majority of them, long as they did everything right, we have to contact a lot of people. They forget to sign, and so we can't accept it until they do that, or ID, and so we have a lot of that to clean up when they come in.
How many ballots have you had come in since Tuesday?
That I did not get that. Sorry, I can get that to you later.
Okay, I'd be curious.
Okay.
That's exactly, that's what I see.
Okay. It seems. And that's there's more work than.
How's John? Hiding back there behind Anna?
Pretty good.
Smart move. In the corner, just like at home?
Yeah. And try to stay, have a low profile.
Still get your granddaughter living with you?
No, but she spent the night last night.
Oh, cool, cool.
So I can get her at least once a week.
Nice.
Mom and dad both have to be to work early before daycare opens.
Mm-hmm. That's good. I mean, not for them, but you guys get to see her, so.
Yeah.
And my oldest grandchild, Carson, she just turned 1, and I'm the grandpa that every time she comes to our place, I take her outside to see the chickens and stuff. So as soon as she sees me, she's reaching for me. And now she's at the age where she doesn't want to go back with mom and dad from grandpa. So
Ours will be 18 months here pretty soon.
That's right.
And it's the budded ego boost it is to see her when she finally sees you.
that's what I tell everyone. I said, everyone has a favorite. They just shake their heads at me.
Little girls, right?
Yeah.
Of course. Grandpas are. The best.
I got girl, boy, girl.
Okay.
The tour,
Yeah.
the observation.
We'll get a new one here coming first of February.
I figure I'll be having a new one every 6 months with having 4 kids that are married. So every 6 months for the next 5 years, probably.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Yes, like 60%. I have a question. What is that? We got Catherine and
And they get the contact.
Yeah. That's right. I think they just wait to do everything. They just decided to do that. So that was what they really want to do. That's right.
I sent an email.
No, I saw it. I saw it, and I was gonna tell you a couple of them. Thanksgiving. One of them.
It wasn't on my calendar, so I.
Okay.
Open date.
I'm just gonna, I'm gonna assume that you're not serious about that.
Well,
And it may be, I think we're off that Friday. Yeah. Yeah, so there's 28th and 29th. So.
Hey, Rusty, don't show.
No, and I've done the same thing. I've submitted a PPO and they've been told by HR, "Are you sure you want to use 8 hours on the holiday?"
If you let me.
Thank you for telling me.
Well, now it's 9 hours before I beat the first.
Yeah. I have no idea. The system wasn't really doing that since the builder was trying to. And then, of course, Friday is for. Oh, okay. Yeah. Good to know. I'll never go to that part. That's something not entitled to.
I know.
It was.
Public permit, always been stuff showing.
That's right. And it always, that's what the bank always is.
The bank, it's the bank, of
Bank of Public Works. It's been called forever.
Help yourself.
Be good.
Hmm?
Oh, no, be good.
Help yourself, John.
Thank you. I haven't seen there, but I'm gonna be
Thing is, John, the doctor and your wife aren't here.
What's that?
The doctor and your wife aren't here.
good.
My wife, I don't have a problem with her either.
It's hard to get back on track. There's too many. Clear, I'll be back Thanksgiving.
We got to get a good term of media, so I. Yeah, there you go. Kind of like doing their media.
Oh, it might need to be cut. Yeah.
From Apple.
Apple days. I still have 2 more pies. I figured one for.
What are they?
Well, I got one for Steve's. No, I got one for Thanksgiving, but we're one for Thanksgiving, they went in up with me on pies. I may have.
You got any good staff I can steal?
No, don't.
Who's your best ones?
I'm not gonna. Talk about this already. I'm like, how are?
I'll just be up front. Who's your best one?
I'm not gonna- Appreciate you, Rich, and I appreciate that position, but don't touch my please. No, this is on the please. Yeah, I saw it, I'm like, well, it's what it is. Are you never gonna call?
Never had a call.
Opportunities are opportunities.
Yeah, no, that's why Lori's moving, we talked about it, if that's what's best for her, and
Yep.
I understand.
I support you on my team.
Don't want her to go, but
That's right. Yeah, she's an asset. It's gonna be.
mhm,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
But like I said, I support anything that comes.
I'm gonna remember that.
That might be great.
Remember what you said, Hannah.
I'll remember, I'll keep reminding myself, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I got a lot of good people.
There's so many of your staff now, I don't know.
Yeah. There's a reason.
I'm gonna have to get to know. If you see me coming up the office a lot next week, just
Yeah.
never mind.
Yeah, yeah. We have to put a warning out. Rich, beyond this point.
Mhm.
It was so good. I was so bad that I broke social etiquette and ate and finished it.
One thing that's constant is change.
Yes.
Always. I was ready better than this. I lacked self. That helps. And I would also love for you, I would love for you to forward me.
Yeah.
Whenever they're on this big, that's great.
Yeah. Well,
I mean.
I wanted to try this because it's one of those Fort Riley pies. I always wanted to
Yeah.
buy one. I never have. So this is the first time I've tried one. They're good. They're not overly sweet,
Oh, good.
which is really good.
Well, the next time they do it.
I need this in this.
I've always threatened to, because you can buy them frozen, and
Yeah.
I never have.
I didn't see it, you know, until it was too late.
They're gonna give me $2 for time.
well, this is like the second time.
And you always kind of wonder when they're making that many, are they that good?
Yeah.
It's good. It's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
So I'm picky on
I like
pie.
a good, it's gotta be a good homemade apple pie. Like I had a homemade apple pie, my ex-husband, his uncle made the best homemade apple pie, not too sweet,
Mhm.
homemade crust, all things.
Mhm.
And I was like,
Yeah.
it did me, and that's the only.
Apple pie is usually so sweet. This one's just right for me. I don't like overly sweet stuff.
Me neither.
I was like.
Not to tempt you, right?
This is why I'm sitting over here, and I see the pie,
Yeah.
I can hear about it, it's all good, it's all good.
Just, it's a little bit of thing.
I'm really hoping for a good apple pie for Thanksgiving.
That's why Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday, more so than Christmas. All the food and pies.
Pie.
I like Christmas cookies, but pies are my thing more so.
Really?
Christmas cookies is really a big thing for me. I like the baking.
Oh yeah, my wife and girls just make a ton.
Yeah. Candies and cookies and different things. This year, I think we're gonna try to do that.
But it's I did, none of us we watch and we're sitting with the rest of you. Apple cheddar quesadillas, which was, yeah, I like the kind of, roasted, like we sort of, so solid, but I'm kind of good.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, the exception applications, yeah.
Sort of.
Fire started.
Tried to start. 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Thankful we got some, so hopefully we can get 2 of them expedited.
Jacob, can I give you one new task?
Yeah, what's up?
Find the best employees in the appraiser's office and get me that list.
Yeah.
Don't tell her. Tell them the others. I don't have any others though, so don't tell them anyway. We can't steal.
Yeah, you need.
They can, if they choose.
That's not a big thing.
I support growth, that is a big, I support it wholeheartedly.
How long do you have until Lori
And then
goes over?
No, 18th, I believe, is what we agreed to. Yeah, 18th, she'll start there.
Good.
3 weeks, what we did.
Well, hopefully you guys hear something quick.
Yeah, you never know.
You don't think that's out?
It's a tough position.
Yeah, it will be. It will be.
Although there was a lot of interest in the health director, so, you know, maybe people are eyeing.
Yeah, I think we have found, I think, in jobs that have been coming open, good candidate qualifications
Oh, yeah.
recently, you know, so that's good, where it wasn't that way for a
No.
long time.
I agree.
Yeah.
May have got a lot of applicants, but wasn't much quality.
I can attest to that.
So as I put this on my plate, I'm like, I can feel good about eating this ice cream because.
The whole labor market's
I
starting to
tried
count out.
and then I just.
Nobody breaks these days. That's quite into
Yes, you do.
it. Have you, had an opportunity to talk to her?
No.
Commissioner, you ready to go ahead and?
I saw that.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, we were all enjoying.
I enjoyed mine, and thank you, Kevin. It was good.
You were saying it's so. Oh. Okay, that might, that's good. Yeah, rather than put it here, I can do that. Okay, yeah, I'm here for that. I didn't put my picture.
It's like, I don't think you're gonna punish yourself.
Well.
You couldn't resist that. No, I couldn't.
It was good, wasn't it? Was good.
Yeah.
And then you.
Hey,
Food, I always keep a second pen here for this one, halfway through all the
Although-
signatures.
No, I hate it when that happens. I usually do, as long as they don't get stolen. Yep, I still got some. A lot of times they disappear from my desk, though.
Well, I just keep, not a nice, one of my nice pens, I keep this and I voted.
One where you know you can get a replacement for the right cost.
Let alone if they have one.
You still feel happy?
How you doing?
I'm good, how you
Thanks
doing,
for
Rick?
coming.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
absolutely.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's all right. Bag lady.
I think the board's probably ready, didn't y'all?
Sure.
Oh, we got a few minutes.
Oh, it's 10:30?
Yeah, it's 10:30, there's a couple minutes, yeah.
Okay. Oh, gonna finish? Thanks for bringing it. I always wondered what their pies were like.
Yeah, I have usually,
I forgot to give some reason this year, I didn't get.
I've never had one before.
they're really good. And they, you know, everything's really, they were frozen, really packed good. And, sometimes when you freeze stuff like that,
Right.
it's mushy,
Yeah.
but these didn't get mushy.
That's what I wondered.
Keep frozen
Yeah.
and pull it out.
I've always wondered, but then, you know, a lot of times when you mass produce things, quality isn't as good. I thought it was a really good pie.
It is.
They made thousands of them.
Oh, yeah, I know they do.
I think they spent a week making them out of the forest.
Mm-hmm. I can imagine the undertaking it is.
Yeah, 29.
Picked you out, huh?
Yeah, it
Always does.
went too fast.
IT and their security.
Anna did, Anna, our, the late, the public works employee that cleans this building, she is spot on crash and stuff. She does a really good job.
She does.
So does ours. Gloria does a great job too, and I told John if she gets transferred anywhere, someone's getting fired.
You know how fun it is to threaten them?
Uh-huh. Never a good
Yeah.
idea.
I almost had to, that could fire somebody for. We've had a hard time with public work.
It's a tough position generally.
I think we're loaded up now.
Danielle, you can go ahead and get started.
Yeah, sure.
If
You guys want me to
if she'll leave you alone.
Yeah, I was telling her a joke.
Of course.
Dad joke.
Well, good morning. I'm very happy to be here to be with you all today. I'm Danielle Julin. I'm the new city manager. I think I've had an opportunity. I don't think I've had an opportunity yet to meet you. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm Brian Parker, I'm deputy county and counselor, and then I extended them out on top of the end of the year.
Excellent. All right. Well, I'm it's been very warm, very welcoming. I do not have any prepared comments for you all for this first meeting. I want to make sure that this time is beneficial for you all. This is your meeting. So want to, if there's ever any topics that you all want to discuss or talk about. I know we also have our joint city county meeting. Really still drinking from that fire hose. This is day 19, day 20 for me on the job here at the city of Manhattan. So still very much trying to get caught up to speed on all the projects. I think if there's anything in specific that you all want to be updated on, I can certainly make a note of that. And we'll go back and get that information and bring an update back to you all. But really just happy to be here and introduce myself and get to know you all this morning. Nothing
Don't have
specific.
anything specific.
Okay, great.
I met you at when you were here interviewing. If you remember that, we had a
Yes.
short discussion.
At the
At the-
speed dating that we did.
Yeah.
At the community forum.
Yes, that one.
Yes, it was nice to meet you then.
Yeah.
So. No, I mean. One of the things that I was very impressed with when I was doing my interview, and I think I mentioned that then, was just the turnout at that community forum and how many folks made it a point to come out and meet who the potential new city manager might be and get to know the candidates and have an opportunity to weigh in on that process. I think that is very much speaks to the community partnership that is present in this community and continuing to work and foster those relationships.
So have you gotten all settled in and?
No.
No?
No, absolutely not. So I have figured out where all the conference rooms are at City Hall. Certainly, as topics are coming up, getting caught up to speed on those, just a lot of information. I was in Manhattan from 2003 to 2007. At that time, my focus was certainly not local government. I don't think I ever really left the campus section of the city. But just seeing how much this community has changed over the last 20 years, but also that it still very much feels like the city of Manhattan. And I think that speaks again to the hard work that our local government officials, elected and appointed, have the quality of work that they have really done over the last several years. So happy to be a part of that next chapter and looking forward to continuing that work and continuing to build on that success and progress.
There are specific questions. Usually they just update on what projects the city has working or coming out and stuff. Usually what they've come and discussed with us.
So when we talk about those specific projects and things that you want to hear about, are we wanting to hear more specifics on infrastructure projects, projects in general throughout the city, or projects where we are looking for partnership with the county?
All of the
Impacts of
above.
the county, all the above. I know that
All
a
the
lot of
above.
our utilities service a lot of those county areas that are not necessarily in city limits. So I think that would certainly be something we could catch you all up on. So when I come back, next, we meet monthly?
Mhm.
And we meet monthly. So when I come back next month, I will certainly be prepared to update you on some of our infrastructure projects that we're working on. I know we have a $20 million wastewater treatment plant expansion that we are working on, so I'll be happy to kind of bring forward an update on that. So.
The other ones, which streets are closed and which ones are the next ones to be closed? That's been this summer anyway, that's been the project. It's hard to keep track of them all.
Talking about that, and I'm like, I feel like we actually need like a separate Facebook dedicated to
Just-
those traffic updates, so that we can tell other stories that we have going on in the city as well. And yes, but certainly, one of the things I do like to remind folks of that, orange is the color of progress. Orange is the color of economic development. Orange is a good color. Even though I know sometimes it can seem, very, very inconvenient and oh goodness, what has the city done now?
Yeah.
In front of my business, in front of my home, on my way home. So anyways, appreciate that and can, bring construction updates when I come next month.
Yeah, Danielle, that's typically what Ron would do. He'd bring all of those topics and he generally didn't have any trouble filling at least 20 minutes just himself and then ask the board for questions. And so just all those things that you mentioned is always what the commission was interested in.
I can assure
May
you.
I add one?
Verbose, as Mr. Fear was probably, but we'll certainly, bring those topics forward to you all.
I've got one to add too. Sorry, I'm on Zoom today.
It's all right.
Yeah, just talk about the things that the city commission's working on from a policy and fiscal standpoint within that month time frame. It's always good to know.
One of those things that I know we talked about, our joint city county meeting that we have coming up here in the next couple of weeks or so. I believe it's November 21st. And we are hosting that one, I believe, in our chamber. So happy to host you all. One of the things that we are going to be talking about with the commission is those housing, our RHIDs, the residential housing improvement districts, I believe is what the I stands for. So that is a policy that our governing body, the commission, has been working on very diligently the last several months. I am getting caught up to speed on that. We finally opened up applications on October 1st, and we have applications to review. So one of the things that we are going to do is review that with our commission and then also take that opportunity of our time when we get together and kind of go over what that process looks like. And then we will bring forward those applications that we have received to the city commission in December. So I know that's a policy that we're working on right now, Mr. Ford.
Okay, on this particular meeting, it's usually city and then Riley County and Pottawatomie County. Considering that the school district has a lot at stake on this one too, you might reach out to Eric Reed and make sure they're represented at that meeting too, if we're going to discuss this topic.
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate that.
Okay. Yeah. And for me, yeah, that's good for me. Yeah.
I have a specific question that you may not be up to speed on a specific project that may be in the works. It's on the Commerce Bank down in Points. Do you have any updates on that and how, I know it was presented and a lot of people are very upset about it, so.
Yeah, I don't have any specific updates on that at this time. We have been getting feedback from our commission, our commissioners. They had an opportunity at that first blush. They shared kind of their first direction to kind of keep working, but wanted to see us refine that a little bit. So we have been refining what that, I know the architects and the developer have been refining what that building and what that project looks like aesthetically. And then we have also been working with them to refine what that incentive looks like for that infill development that we have downtown. Certainly feel like that project is part of the plan for Beyond Tomorrow. Our downtown redevelopment plan meets some of those goals that we have outlined in that, as far as wanting to extend downtown further down Point Street, as well as looking at restaurant opportunities. They have an anchor on that corner, wanting to maintain and retain an anchor in Commerce Bank, a business downtown as well. And then additionally, there are 4,000 square feet of additional retail. And so we know we've been very successful getting all of that space leased up downtown, and they are actually, they have folks who want to be downtown, but there's no space for them at this time either. So we do think that there are some benefits to that development project, and it's just really a matter of how comfortable the commission is with incentivizing that development.
Yeah, I guess myself, I'm concerned about doing a tax abatement, and and I think the abatement put forward to not charge sales tax on construction products. And my question or my concerns are that that's not fair to the rest of the taxpayers in the county to have to pay for a retail developer who is making a profit on those things. So
I appreciate the feedback.
And Ms. Newland, very nice to meet you. Just the only thing I was gonna echo that what Margo said is that I think as you become more ingrained like in the operations, one of the things that I've noticed, even though I've been here relatively short myself, on the county side, I worked for the cities for some time, a long time ago. But I think that on the natural things that we collaborate on, right, as city and county, so a lot of that's also going to drive what we talk about in reports, as you would expect, right? But we're always, I know that both of our offices and generally the county departments in general, we're always happy to, answer questions and help prepare whatever background you would need for comments as well.
All right, appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, well, enjoy the rest of your morning, and I will work on getting some of those infrastructure updates, construction updates, policy, fiscal updates for you all at the next meeting. Thank you.
Thanks, Danielle.
Have anything else?
I don't have anything.
Okay.
Except just remember, no meeting Monday.
Yeah.
what time is it, Ray?
9:30.
9:30. We have to be there earlier.
Also remember that there's breakfast at the VFW that starts at 7:30. I think it's $5 or something if you're non-veteran, but it's really good. They do a really good job with it.
No game, so no fun.
Game this week. Wow.
It's okay. We need rep practice.
Manhattan High's playing tomorrow night against Mays.
No.
Might be a little tougher game than they've been playing here recently.
Yeah.
So roll Tribe.
Yeah, Chiefs Broncos. Yeah, that one too.
Well, I would make a motion to adjourn the November 7th meeting of the Board of Riley County Commissioners.
I'll second.
Been moved and second to adjourn the November 7th meeting. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.